So we've got to keep talking about why keto is an incredible tool for weight loss. And as most of you know, hopefully if you're new to my channel, you may not know this, but a lot of you know that I am a big believer in varying keto. And I'm also a big believer in keto being the fastest path to losing weight. And there are 4 reasons why. And 3 of these reasons are based off of science. 1 is just what I have seen work for so many people. So let's dive into this so that you understand why keto is an incredible tool to have in your weight loss toolbox. So I feel like with keto, it has had a lot of bad rap, especially recently. And it doesn't make sense to me because the way that I look at the human body is always through the lens of what does the body need? And what the body doesn't need is large spikes of glucose. And large spikes of glucose come from carbohydrates. So we need to minimize those spikes of glucose. And there are a handful of ways of doing that. So 1 is make sure you're eating nature's carbs, not man-made carbs. I have said this over and over again before you even start asking me about macros and all of that for the ketogenic diet. I would just say if you're new to keto or you're entertaining keto, try it for 1 week, just eating nature's carbs, not man-made carbs. That means anything that you look at and you're like, this came from the earth, it didn't come from a lab. So if we look at an apple came from a tree that came from the earth. If you look at potatoes, a great one. Potato came from the earth, but a potato chip, you can see that it's been manipulated. So we want to go to those basic foods that nature brought. Vegetables, fruits, squashes even, the quinoa, and even some of the rices can be good. So one of the things that happens with food that came from the earth is that it has more fiber. And when you eat a carbohydrate with fiber, it has less of a glucose response. And if there's less of a glucose response, remember, then there's less excess to store as fat. So before you start counting macros, please, let's start looking at the switch over to nature's carbs. Now, if you've already switched over completely to nature's carbs, then you start counting macros. And in the books that I talk about different versions of macros, and I talk about low keto versus ketobiotics. So you have these as resources. They're in both of these books. So there's that. Now, with that in mind, what does the science say? So there are 3 things I really want you to understand. First, the science says that the ketogenic diet allows you to have a faster metabolism. Okay, how many of us have been walking around saying my metabolism is slow, yet here we have a 2012 study that found people who ate keto, they burned 300 more calories a day. That's a 15% increase in your metabolic rate. So let's put it in your thought process for a moment. What if you came to me and you're like, my metabolism's slow? And my response back to you was, okay, what if I could improve it by 15%? What would you say? I think you'd be like, yes, I'd like my metabolism to be faster by 15%. Okay, ketogenic diet. That's what science is saying. Second thing the ketogenic diet does is it decreases hunger. Okay, how many of us have gone on a diet and we're so motivated in the beginning, we keep the rigidity and the discipline, and within a couple of weeks we're like, can't do that anymore. It's no fun. I can't go out with my friends to do anything social. I'm wearing down from the discipline. I'm hungry all the time. Well, guess what? You can stop hunger and you can speed up your metabolism by doing the ketogenic diet. This is again why when I look at my reviews on Fast Like a Girl, the amount of weight loss that happened for women is largely because we used part of a woman's cycle to be able to lean into the ketogenic diet so that we could speed up metabolism and we could kill hunger. So it has, what the ketogenic diet does is it influences the hunger hormone. It's called ghrelin, and it will will suppress ghrelin, so you're not hungry. So if you don't believe it, try just not eating any carbs for a day. You would just eat protein and vegetables. So yeah, vegetables are a form of carbs. So just do protein and vegetables for a day. No fruit, no breads, no cakes, no pastas, no cookies, and just do that for a day, maybe a couple of days, and then tell me how hungry you are. Most of you will find that the hunger goes down. In fact, put it in the comments so that people can see why this is such a beautiful tool for weight loss. Okay, third thing, based off of science, is that it reduces cravings. So how does it do that? This is a really interesting one that I don't feel like is discussed enough. So and the study was that a 2011 study found that people who ate low carb, high fat had significant reduction in sugar craving. Okay, well let's talk about carbohydrates and sugar. When we crave those two things, there's usually a series of issues going on in our body. It's not discipline. So you crave sugar sometimes because you have candida, which is a fungus in your gut, and that fungus needs to stay alive, so it gives you the signal, hey, you should eat some more sugar. So you go and you eat more sugar. You also crave sugar because of adrenal fatigue. So when you're exhausted and you can't get your energy up, your adrenals create a signal to your brain to give me more sugar. Let's bring up the sugar so that the cells have some energy to work off of. The third reason that you crave sugar is because you've been eating carbohydrate-rich diet and high sugar for so long that your blood sugar is used to doing this all day. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. And every time it goes to one of those down points, your brain gets a signal, hey, it's down again, feed me. And it doesn't typically say, feed me a carrot. It says, feed me a piece of bread or a pastry or some kind of sugar to get it up quickly. So when we go on into the ketogenic diet, you're pretty much eating protein and vegetables, maybe some low glycemic fruits like berries or green apples, and your blood sugar is super stable. And when it is super stable, you don't have this up and down, so that is gone. You start to kill the fungus. If you have candida, you'll kill candida. You're getting the hunger hormones being turned off, and your adrenals are calming down because the ketogenic diet, the more ketones that you make, the more GABA that is produced in your body, and the GABA is the neurotransmitter that calms you. So it's calming, it's hormone killing, and it stabilizes blood sugar, gives you energy. This is why so many people love it. This is why we had to create a book to show you how to time it to a woman's menstrual cycle, or my postmenopausal women, how do you time it to that? I'm a huge fan of pulsing in and out the ketogenic diet. Okay, last thing. The other incredible part of the ketogenic diet for weight loss is it's delicious. Okay, how many times have we gone on a diet? We are counting points, we're counting calories, we're restricting, and we're like, oh, it's okay. It's not like really yummy. And so, but we muscle through it only to eventually fail at that diet. But the ketogenic diet, one of the key things you bring into it is fat. Fat is yummy, especially when you eat the right fat, the healthy fats. So you also are bringing in more protein-rich foods, which also is very satisfying to the taste buds, and again stabilizes your blood sugar. Okay, check this out. I have a free fasting guide for you all. It's free, and it's going to teach you all the basics of fasting. It's going to teach you how to kill hunger when you fast, which is really cool, and it's going to show you how to break your fast, among many other things. All you got to do is click on this link right here and enjoy. So from a craving standpoint, from a brain standpoint, it really makes a difference when you move into this ketogenic state. And I put in both books, I've got recipes in there. I got a bunch of recipes in here that are strictly the ketobiotic recipes. You can go to the back if you haven't looked at those. But what I want you to know, for those of you that are struggling to lose weight, is don't let the media take your vision away from the keto diet. Don't let your doctor, who hasn't done the research, tell you that the ketogenic diet is dangerous. The ketogenic diet is incredibly helpful for losing weight. Should you do it all the time? No. Should you time it to your hormones for the women out there? Yes. And Do you need to have periods where you eat carbs? Absolutely. So remember that in the diet world, in the nutrition world, we're so quick to be like, do this, don't do that. I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of good in all of this. And so let's be smart about how we use it. But when we are looking to change our weight and to change it quickly, there's no better tool that I have found than the ketogenic diet. Now, you add the biotic part the way I like it, with more fiber, and it only speeds up the weight loss because you're supporting the liver and the gut, which also help with overall weight loss. So don't fall prey to the headlines. There is a tool here for you to use. And it's interesting. I'm going to finish up on this note because I think this one we need to talk about as a community, is that these new weight loss drugs that are coming out, and some of you are benefiting from them, and fabulous, but let's pair the ketogenic diet to it. When I hear people who have gone on those weight loss drugs tell me, my hunger went away, I started dropping weight effortlessly, it was so easy. Yeah, that's how I feel about the ketogenic diet. That's how I feel about fasting. Once I trained my body to do all of that, the food, my cravings, my hunger went away, my energy went up, very much like many people are experiencing on these new weight loss drugs, but yet there's no side effects. Let's be reasonable about this and start to bring back this ketogenic diet as a weight loss tool, a tool that you pull out periodically to drop some weight. Not every day. It is dangerous every day, but not when you bring it out periodic. Okay? Let me know if that helps. Put it in the comments because as you can see, I have a lot of opinions on this one. I know you're struggling to lose weight. It may be your fasting length. So in this video, I'm going to show you the perfect fasting length to unstick weight loss. In fact, it's such an incredible tool for weight loss. I think you should start with fasting before you change your food to be able to get into that door in for losing weight.